This is a series in search of the next big idea. It's about innovation and design in New York and the tri-state area. Design and innovation is everywhere. Everything around us, physical products, service, digital, it all started with someone's idea and then it was designed, developed and created. This series seeks out the very latest design innovations going on right here, right now. Welcome to New York by Design. We've gathered a group of New York design industry leaders via Zoom, tasked with the job of judging each innovation and selecting our finalists, before ultimately crowning one design project the winning innovation of the season.
This is a really interesting group of jurors.
We are definitely not all agreeing on these projects.
A lot of us know each other, so we kind of know each other's shtick a bit.
There's high entertainment value on this judging panel.
We all have strong opinions because we're passionate about design.
Judges hate the stuff the most that they've done themselves 5 or 10 years ago.
We will all agree about what good design is in general. It's just when it gets down to the nitty-gritty details, that's when designers really get carried away.
The men did outnumber the women, so there was a little bit of mansplaining, but I can handle that.
Let's get started with our first innovation.
Scott Henderson was instrumental in the development of this innovation, so he steps away from the discussion.
The Z-Shield obviously is responding to something very topical and something that is, a huge concern right now.
And it really looks at a direction upside down, no pun intended.
Quite an innovation. It's a simple move, almost too obvious, but no one thought of it. This is the first of its kind.
We're in Dumbo, where the story at a certain point evolved at a rapid pace. But actually the story started earlier in South Carolina with John, and we have John here today.
So our company before COVID was a design for manufacturing technology company. In February and March, just like everyone, we were getting shut down. Our workforce went home, we're working remote, so really scary.
In March, we started receiving some urgent calls
From hospitals,
can you 3D print face shields or
ventilator components, and really anything. We could 3D print about 1,000 units a day, but we had orders immediately for 100,000.
And so
we went to injection molding. We ended up producing 3 million protective face shields for hospitals and government agencies all across the country. But in April, we were seeing already requests from
businesses who were trying to reopen.
I needed something that could be worn in a restaurant or a hotel, but didn't look like something that would be worn in a hospital. At that time, I called Scott Henderson, right? He has a really fantastic design aesthetic and makes really beautiful products.
Hey, Mauro! The human head is filled with all kinds of geometric complexities because everybody's head is different. So we thought, what happens if we take the head out of the equation altogether?
That's a scary image. What do you mean with removing the head out of the equation?
So this is for a musician. It holds a harmonica here, you see? So it just goes on like this, and now it's a neck-mounted thing. So what happens if we put a shield up here, right? All right, well, here it is. This is the Z-Shield Flex.
So you wear it like this?
Yeah, it just goes on nice and easy like that.
It feels so comfortable, you just don't feel
Very light, yeah, and you almost don't even see it. It almost looks invisible.
And then
you can adjust it. If you need to take a sip of coffee, answer the phone, you just flip it down for a minute.
Super convenient. So that's all fantastic in a design studio. But now I am at the Great Dog in the West Village. Let's test drive this in real life. So Claire, can you try this for us?
Absolutely. Oh.
What do you think?
I like how easily it goes on. It's very light and very comfortable. It almost feels like you're wearing a necklace.
And you have space also on the side,
yeah,
right?
So if you had to take a call, you can fit the receiver there. So that's a great advantage to it.
And then you can take it down.
Oh, that's wonderful. Oh, this would be really lovely just if you're grabbing a quick bite as you go or to take a quick drink of water. Yeah, I think this is really wonderful.
You can keep it.
Really? Thank you. Ooh.
So history teaches us that innovation often comes out of crisis. You can react to a crisis negatively, or like John, turning adversity into opportunity and building value for yourself, for the people surrounding you, and for society.
The next project is called the Bionic Partition. So these guys have figured out a way to create a computer algorithm that actually creates structures.
I was very impressed by the amount of savings, specifically fuel savings, they would project.
It's so cool, but when you put it on the airplane, you cover it up with some goofy carpet. Just think how much weight they would save if they didn't put the carpet on it.
This district is historically known as a financial powerhouse in New York and America, but it's evolving. Designers and tech innovators are moving into these buildings, and there's one guy in particular whose design can change a whole industry. David?
Hey, Suma.
Hey, David.
How's it going? Come on in. Good timing, actually. This just arrived from Germany, and I want to show you what's inside.
It's a plane.
Yeah, so
very cool.
So this is a project that we've been working on with Airbus, and the idea is to make an entirely new kind of airplane for, you know, some of the demands of the future.
Mm-hmm.
It's designed with the logic of a bird skeleton, actually.
Okay.
In nature, bones form according to organic forces and pressures. It gets strong where it needs to be strong, and therefore you could potentially use less material to make an airplane that's just as strong. We've started already with designing airplane components one by one that could lead up to something like this kind of plane.
Very cool. So what's the first component that you're starting with?
The first component is called a partition. So Suma, can you hit the space bar right here?
Oh my goodness.
This is a different living organism. It's called slime mold.
Slime mold.
And slime mold sends out this pretty dense network of lines, and slowly over time it reinforces the lines that are important and removes the lines that are not important.
So what does this have to do with the plane we just saw?
So here's an algorithm that's modeling the logic of slime mold. And then we use generative design to generate, evaluate, and evolve literally thousands of different design options. And actually, this is the one that we selected for this project.
So David, real talk here. Are we actually gonna see these in planes?
This one is being certified to fly in today's airplanes. And if this is rolled out to all the A320 planes flying today, this will save 1 million tons of carbon emissions per year.
Hi, Bastian. What do you do at Airbus?
I'm innovation manager. I'm working for one of the coolest teams at Airbus called Technology Exploration in a lab in Hamburg with a lot of 3D printers.
So David was talking about the Bionic Partition, and this is all he had to really show me. What else do you got for us?
Well, I have the partition in full scale with me. We had to print 116 parts to accomplish this work. These structures are so efficient that we have a weight reduction of 50% compared to the state-of-the-art partition.
I looked up what 1 million tons of carbon emissions is. It means it's saving the equivalent of 240,000 cars, or 2% of New York City's total emissions per year, just by installing this one tiny piece of the aircraft. Just imagine what we could do if we got to this stage.
This next project is the Array heated roller, which all the men seem to be really enamored with.
From a functional point of view, I like that it's a hybrid. So when some object can actually do several things at once, I'm an advocate of that always.
I admire any kind of product design that is beautiful enough that there is no need for it to tuck away.
I mean, guys, this looks like a Jonathan Adler phase.
I'm sure that there'll be many health and wellness products following their lead because this one is pioneering.
I'm a fitness nut and design geek, so this is my dream story. And I'm stepping up to the plate. Puerto Rico meets New York, joined by design innovation. Good workout, Eduardo.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
Definitely, definitely. Hey, so you created a product to address how to take care of your body.
Came about after a long dose of back and glute pain for the last 10 years. I have an active lifestyle.
Yeah.
I can't just wake up and go the way I used to do it 20 years ago.
Yeah.
That's done. Preventative action is the key to be able to continue to perform, right?
Yep.
You gotta warm up. You gotta stretch. So if I can combine that with a product that can do that for me, warm up and help me stretch, well, we're in heaven. But as we dive deeper into it and working with the Pensa guys, I became aware. I was like, wow, a lot of people deal with this. A lot of people have injuries. A lot of people have back pain. You don't have to be out in the water 3 hours paddle surfing to need this. This is for everybody.
I really want to hear about the process that went into this product, so I'm going to leave you to it. Mark, I'm sure you get approached all the time. What was different about Eduardo and his idea?
What he identified was the idea of really bringing therapy into this product and really through heat.
Whoa, I mean, that's heat. I can really feel it.
Yeah, so this is one of the current testing prototypes, which is fully functional. We had to quickly start to advance onto thinking about different kinds of heating technologies, different ways of integrating those into a flexible form factor, something that could be soft, something that could heat evenly across the surface. So this is actually the latest prototype. It represents everything that we intend the design to be. The handholds are integrated into the product. The interface lights up with one touch and allows you to rotate into the right temperature and then charge it just by dropping it onto a charger base and live within the home. And in fact, Eduardo hasn't even seen this prototype.
Wow.
So we are actually going to meet with him today and show it to him for the first time. Hey, Eduardo, good to see you, buddy.
What's up, man?
How you been?
Excited.
So here we are. Are you ready for the big reveal?
I'm ready, dude. I'm stoked.
All the details that we've been developing are in this prototype. The interface is hidden inside, so it's one seamless form.
It looks awesome, feels awesome. I'm so stoked, dude. One of the things that really excites us is that it's not only the function, it's actually how it looks. This is my intention, right? We don't want it to be under the bed, in the closet. We want it to be part of the home, and we feel that this design does that.
In the fitness and wellness categories, which are exploding right now, this is great design, combining two modalities into one functional, aesthetically engaging product. Great job.
What I really like of this specific project is the modularity of the system.
It's one of those stories that we never see as people out in the world, as consumers. It's totally behind the scenes.
It's a great example of holistic design applied holistically across the entire system.
It has to be, on one hand, it has to be really friendly, and on the other hand, it has to be serious and mean.
We've all been here before, and if you're sick, this is exactly where you want to be. Wow, is that over already? That hardly hurt a bit. You're good. But this story is not so much about this scene, it's about what happens next.
Come on in, I have your blood, and let's show what happens next.
All right.
Well, this is a typical laboratory for you, where we analyze the blood. So let's pretend this was a specimen that came in from someone complaining of chest pain.
Mr. Jones out there,
Okay, Mr. Jones. Our goal is to make sure that we test this in the shortest period of time so that we get those results back to the physician as soon as possible. So this is the Atelica solution from Siemens Healthineers. This analyzes blood glucose, your blood cholesterol, in addition to testing things such as HIV, pregnancy, cardiac conditions.
Wow, this machine does everything.
So we're going to load it onto the system, and we do so in a priority or stat rack.
Right, because he just had a heart attack.
Well, we don't know that for sure.
Wow.
As I shut the drawer, there are 2 cameras in each of the drawer, and they're looking for certain things. They're looking to see.
That light show.
It's, a robotic arm will pick up the stat, so that's prioritized over all of the other routine samples that are on here.
Hey, William, what are you doing here?
Hi, Scott. I am stressing the analyzers. So I'm loading a lot of different samples. Each of these tubes have multiple tests on them, and it's processing those samples.
Because this machine's got to run 24/7, 365, so you want to make sure it can handle it.
That's correct.
And made in the US of A. So Scott, I can see how these things are completely modular. Look at how they all fit together.
Exactly. We can connect these together in over 300 different configurations, just like Legos. We did that so we can fit into any size lab and scale the system to fit customers' needs. And it's future-proof. We're adding new functions all the time. For example, let me show you this. Try taking a cap off of one of these.
Okay. Ooh, yeah, that's pretty tough.
Imagine doing it 400 times an hour. One of our most recent additions is a decapper.
Oh, wow. Where was that on Super Bowl Sunday when I needed it?
I'll see if we can get you one. This is our new tablet application we just launched.
It looks really clean. It looks really, can I touch?
Yeah, definitely.
Now, I know nothing about diagnostics, but I feel like I could use this straight out of the gate.
You try to make tasks as simple as possible so it doesn't take a lot of training to use the system.
I think you did a great job. The modularity and smarts of the Antellica solution is a shining example of technology and innovation, and all right here in the New York area. Fantastic! Oh, and Mr. Jones, just a little indigestion, a bad burger.
The next project is Staircase.
All of the work being done by this team, I think, is impressive on the scale of it.
The quality and the finish of the wood and the color and the feeling of this floating up the stairs was quite beautiful.
The brilliance behind it is really that computer program. And it's a sculpture, but it's functional. A functional sculpture.
This little corner of Red Hook is kind of like Lower Manhattan in the 80s. These buildings are full of wonderful spaces with makers and creators. And one such couple are really pushing the limits of their abilities and creativity to new extremes. Sophia, Adam.
Hey, Coy, welcome to Brooklyn.
So, help me understand, you folks are architects or designers?
We're both. I'm a designer, Adam's an architect.
So this is your big creation in here?
It is, and we're excited to show you, but first, let's go take a look over here.
Okay.
This piece is a great example of some of the techniques that we use at a smaller scale.
Yeah, there's a lot of science and engineering to getting these curves and shapes just right.
We're able to apply our skills as architects and designers. We're already using a lot of the same software and programming. So before we do anything, we start with a giant block of wood. And the giant block of wood is created from a lot of little small pieces. And so what we do is we rotate the grain back and forth to help with some of the twisting and torquing and some of the expansion and contraction. This side, we've already done the smooth carving, so you can kind of see it really gives you a really fine carved piece.
Okay, Adam, what is this? It's enormous.
So it's designed and built in 3 parts. So the ball is the anchor.
Okay.
The neck holds the 2 pieces together, and this giant disc is the lens that holds the mirror.
Why do you need an 8-foot mirror?
Because it makes me look skinny.
Okay. So, Sophia, you guys experiment with color quite a bit, don't you?
Yeah, we obviously love the natural beauty of wood, but we also appreciate a good pop of color. On a whim, we decided to take one of our side tables and make that blue. It's one of those pieces that got people to stop and take a closer look at it.
And the blue, I think, is the signature color for your biggest piece yet, I've heard.
Yes. Do you want to see that?
Yeah, do I get to?
Cool.
All right. Wow. This is amazing.
Thank you. We're open to that kind of reaction.
We've got the blue that you were talking to me about earlier.
It's a gradient pattern, and it actually transitions to a beautiful green once you get to the top.
As you go upstairs. Okay, great. Well, you guys should be very proud. It is an amazing piece.
Thank you, Chloe. Really appreciate you saying that.
Thank you.
It does a very good job telling the story of who we are and what we've done as a group. It brings together the spirit of everything that we do and everything that we've done, and we hope that it embodies that.
I really like how Adam and Sophia have combined their expertise in architecture, design, digital fabrication, and furniture making, and applied it all into this one remarkable piece. And at the top, there's another story to tell, but that's for another day.
Which design innovation from the series do you think should win? Vote for your favorite project in the Nambe People's Choice Award. Just by casting your vote, you could win one of 3 designer homewares: Steve Casalino's Curvo wine rack, Karim Rashid's Morphic chip and dip, and Scott Henderson's chillable salad bowl with servers. All commissioned by Nambe. Design your life. Just go to NewYorkByDesign.com or scan the QR code on the screen and cast your vote in the Nambe People's Choice Award. Good luck.
It's nearly time to announce which innovations from this episode will make it through to the final. But first, an international ByDesign spotlight.
So Tim and Rob, we're in Melbourne, Australia, where you designed the tree coach.
Yeah, we have, and a pure frustration of planting hundreds of thousands of trees over all these years, and we've just come up with an idea that has developed into something that is a gym for the trees.
We've removed the occupational health and safety hazards surrounding tree planting, and we've also innovated to ensure that trees can be established to the best possible form of their self for future generations.
So welcome to the Brooklyn Grange rooftop farm with a stunning view of New York City.
Did you order this win just to prove your points today?
I ordered this win to show exactly how well the tree coach works. The truth is, in 50 years of planting trees, staking trees, nothing has changed until now.
I'd imagine that the usual stakes would be stronger in holding the tree.
And that's what people would think, but in actual reality, it's not correct. You need flexibility for the trees to move with the wind in order for them to grow stronger. All right, let's get started.
So there's no tools, there's no hardware.
Tools involved at this point. That simply then goes into the receptacle.
So it actually resembles a planter in a sense.
Absolutely, absolutely. Eileen, your turn.
I can't believe that we're doing this today. My friends are never going to believe I'm planting a tree.
Excellent.
Okay, baby, you've got everything you need. Now grow. Pete, why did you take me to Times Square?
We're in Times Square because we're going to take a picture, because there's no better place to show the union of people with nature than showing that in an urban setting like Times Square. Planting trees in urban areas where we have these urban heat islands is one of the most direct ways to capture carbon from the air and replace it with oxygen.
Now, let's get some help from Carrie from ByDesign.
Oh, thanks, Carrie. Excellent. So a tree such as this may cost on average maybe $200, $250. Studies have shown that for every dollar spent on a tree in an urban setting, there is a tangible savings of 5 times the amount. 1, 2, 3, trees.
Trees! So that's Tree Coach, kind of like a gym for young trees. And anything that helps cities plant more trees is really great for all of us.
And now it's time to find out which innovations from this episode will go through to the best of the best final later in the season.
I love Z-Shield. Scott did an amazing job of thinking out of the box.
There's so many aspects of this product that improve on what is a cumbersome experience currently.
I could very much see this going through into the top 3 and possibly further.
It's just a beautiful object, but with a very clear functionality. I think it deserves to be in the final.
I'm really excited that it's in the top 10 because it's hitting so many of the criteria that I'm looking for as a judge.
I'm really glad that Atilica made it. I think it's such a great project that shows the power of what good design can do.
And this was one of those solutions that's game-changing, for sure.
Congratulations to Z-Shield, Array Heater Roller, and Atilica Solution for making it through. We wish them well for the final. Join us next time for more design innovation on New York by Design.
For more information on any of the innovations featured and to cast your vote in the People's Choice Award, go to NewYorkByDesign.com.